In this video, we're going to teach closeout managers how to use a very special tool named the Data Explorer. In the previous video, you learned how to click on the crinkle vertically oriented label, make sure you were synced, and then use your bulk photo export capability. This is different. This is called the Data Explorer. It automatically opens when you first enter this app, but I'm going to go ahead and click it again and open it. And I'm going to maximize the screen, and I'm going to grab the pane here, and I'm going to pull it so we can see everything on the left and everything on the right. Now you'll notice that each site has the name of the site for a given project and all the photo folders that are available, like the alpha photo log, the beta photo log, and so on. If I wanted to see every Ericsson 65 megahertz tower or every Ericsson T-Mobile project in the system, in this case we'll do Ericsson Southern Link Microwave, I would simply click or double click on the node that says Ericsson Southern Link Microwave. Double click, and notice over here both sites appear. And it's an Excel-like tool, but it is not Excel. Here we see black data, and if I scroll to the right using the scroll bar down here, we will see blue and red data. Black data is metadata. So let's look at the metadata of the Southern Link Microwave site. Site 1 and Site 2. There's the latitude, the longitude, who created it, the name of the unique device. Every device in the world has a unique identifier. So even if I logged in on a different device, my device number would change. And that's the date and time to the second that I created it. Now, if it's ever been modified, you will see who last modified it, what device it was last modified by, the last modified date and time. Let's scroll to the right and have a look at some of this other data. There's the data that that person entered. There's the site ID. There's the name of the customer. There's the name of the project. Some of this data is just like there is a warning sign and you have to read it, and it tells you that the viewer viewed it. It'll be an unviewed if they never went through that screen. You'll see the answers, yes and no, they answer to the questions, and these are the people who did it, and so on. Now, if I wanted to see all of the children of that site, and notice that microwave dish 1 blue photo log, dish 2 orange, dish 3 green, dish 4 brown, those are the photo logs of the Southern Link Microwave project, just like alpha, beta, Charlie, and ground and typical things are the children of other projects. If I wanted to see the children of this project, I would simply click on it, and I would hit Show Children down here. And it'll show me that there's one child, which is a microwave dish 3 green, but there are no other children. And sometimes you have to scroll down to see there's also a generic photo log. So let's go look at the generic photo log. Okay. And these are the same exact photos that you exported in the bulk photo export lesson. So let's scroll to the right. There's a photo right there, labeled as hoisting grip. Of course, it's just demo data. Now, what if you wanted to export? There's another photo there, photo 6. What if you wanted to export this data to Excel? How would you do that? Well, notice that the Southern Link search is here. The children of that first one is here. You would select the Southern Link Microwave. You would select the first row, and then you would hit Control A on your keyboard, which is Select All. You can also right-click here and export data for rows, or when they're selected, you can go down to More, and that same list is here. Export metadata for the rows. Exporting raw data is more technical. I would recommend the Closeout Managers export metadata, but feel free to play around and learn about a lot of the capabilities in here. Let's export metadata for those 2 rows. Are you sure you want to export the data? I'm going to say yes. And I'm going to call this Demo Test Closeout Manager.Excel. And I'm going to put it on my desktop. Don't forget to figure out where you're going to put it. And I'm going to hit Save. Now, this is a very interesting moment. Typically, when we save files, the file simply saves where we tell it to, but not in Crinkle Closeout. It actually asks you another question. It says, for every value that's in the system, we save a lot of information. Who created it, what date and time they created it, their position, their Latin long for every question. This is very rich metadata. Typically, you would toggle all of that off by simply hitting toggle all, and you would only ask for the value. But we're going to go ahead and do the value, the username, the latitude, the longitude, and the elevation. And now we're going to say OK, and it says exporting metadata, and metadata exported successfully. Let's go ahead and minimize our screen, and there's our demo test closeout manager file that we just exported. Let's open it up in Excel and take a look at it. And here's what we exported. So I'm going to spread out the rows a little bit so we can see them. For every value, like somebody entered the ID, the username is actually just an unreadable number, but the position is 39.6, the latitude, the elevation, and so on. And here's the second one. I'll put insert a row there because this is a totally different value. That was the first row of data. That's the second row of data. Remember, we exported 2 rows of data, but for each row we entered the value, the machine that did it, the latitude, the longitude, and the elevation. Now, typically you would not export all of that metadata. You would only export the value, and it would look like a more traditional and simple Excel spreadsheet. And why you might want to export your data to Excel is up to you. There are times you want to see things. Let's go back to the Data Explorer for one last lesson. What else is the Data Explorer useful for? Well, if you ever want to sort and filter your data, you can do so simply by clicking on the name like site ID. So you'll notice that test is alphabetically after P. So I'm going to click on site ID and they reorder. So whatever column you want to resort, simply click on it. You'll notice that this was by started time. If I click on it, it'll do it in reverse order. 6 o'clock comes after 3 o'clock. If I click on it again, well, it's actually 3:16 comes before 3:21. If I click on it again, 3:21 comes after 3:16. So I'm just resorting. And if I ever want to filter for something like all of the things done on 3:21, if I touch this, notice that 2 symbols appear. They're not appearing when I don't touch it, but when I touch it, you see 2 symbols. The one on the far right is a filter, and it says pick the date you want to filter for. So if I want to filter for 3/21, notice now only the 3/21 column, or row, excuse me, appears. So if you had 50 things done on 3/21 and 50 things done on 3/22, and you only wanted to see the 3/21s, that's how you would filter it. And then if you simply uncheck that, they all come back. There are many, many other features in the Data Explorer, and we recommend that you look around and try them. Hope you've enjoyed this lesson, and we hope that this will help you get your closeouts done on the day you open them. Thank you for listening.